Gears a bit. Utah one step and one state closer to another pro sports team. The Oakland A's are moving to Las Vegas. It's now been confirmed. Not the first time the A's have moved. They were first in Kansas City decades and decades and decades past, then Philadelphia, then of course Oakland. Though they've been in the Bay for a long time, 55 years straight, but they are moving. They'll move into Vegas, start there in 2028. They'll continue at Oakland through this year. Now, I think we want to make clear why this matters to Utah is because competition. In the next few years, the MLB looking at maybe adding 2 expansion teams to the league. Utah wants one. Vegas would want a team, but with them getting Oakland, it means they're no longer vying for one of those new expansion teams, which makes it more likely that Salt Lake could get one of those new teams.
Big business in Vegas, obviously. I mean, sports is translated there through gambling and obviously through the amount of tourism to that area. And what's interesting about this, Jamie, Oakland now moving to Vegas, so now you'll have the Major League Baseball on the west of you directly, obviously in Denver, in Phoenix. So really all of these states surrounding Utah, with the exception of Idaho and the fringe of New Mexico, right? I mean, you're not getting the Major League Baseball franchises there, but what happens in Salt Lake City in a few years could be interesting.
It could be interesting, and people have been saying, you know, it's our turn, but other arguments are, do you have the money to sustain a team like Vegas? Vegas is very attractive even for tourism and all the activities that you may not necessarily find here in Salt Lake on a wider scale, but
I think on the money front, the Millers have money, we know that, and obviously Ryan Smith not involved in this acquisition, but he's talked about the National Hockey League. The money's here. Can it be sustained? And I think we'll find out, obviously, in a little while, maybe a few years, if Salt Lake's on the market. But keep in mind, Portland is there. Nashville's there. Montreal wants them back from the Expo era. There are other markets out there that have been pushing this for a long time, and they too would like to see Major League Baseball.
So potentially good news for Salt Lake, this development, but I got a feel for Oakland. The fans out there, it's been so tough for them. They've lost so much. A few years back, they lost the Warriors, lost their NBA franchise. Then shortly ago, they lost the Raiders, they lost the NFL, and now they're losing the MLB. Here's some of what we're seeing on Twitter or X, what some of the fans are saying. They're saying it's an awful day for Oakland. Who wants to pull together and buy out John Fisher, who's the owner? Feel terrible for the A's loyal fan base. A lot of fans mad at the owner, John Fisher, also blaming the city of Oakland, saying officials didn't want to put money into the A's or the Oakland Coliseum. It was built back in 1966.
It's
too late now.
Rundown.
It's too late now. It's sad because obviously you want it, but just look at the attendance at those games. Compare it to other franchises around the country. No one was going.
And new stadiums are going up. Vegas just had a new stadium built, Allegiant Stadium. Yep. The Cowboys also has a brand new stadium as well.
Allegiant, which will host the Super Bowl this year, to be seen on KUTV.
And this is a rendering of what the new stadium for the A's could look like in Vegas. About $1.5 billion, they say, is what that'll cost.
And right off the strip, it's popping.
Yeah, that's exciting. And of course, you know, with the Sphere being out there as well, one of the latest entertainment venues, really, really cool. Okay.